Hi, I'm Dr. Sean Francis. I want to thank you for joining me on this presentation of the My Fit Body Forever program. I want to share with you some tips and tricks that are going to help you improve the aging process and tell you a little bit about what functional aging is. This should take approximately 45 minutes. And at the end, I'm going to share with you a special offer for the My Fit Body Forever program to see if you might be interested in it. So let's go ahead with the presentation. So who I am, along with my partner, Dr. Stacey Clark Francis, we're both doctors of chiropractic. We're also both certified functional aging specialists through the functional aging program. And together we have over 30 years experience in health and fitness. And it's our pleasure to be your guides in achieving optimal functioning aging and basically share this information with you in this presentation here. See, our passion lies in helping others experience life to the absolute fullest, whether it's through movement and health coaching, minimizing dysfunction, and even through chiropractic care. That certainly is our aim and our passion. And there's my wife in the center. There's myself at our fitness center in Lindsay, and a couple of the amazing clients that we've had the opportunity to work with in our fitness programs, and just some people that are active in the community of Kawartha Lakes. So I want to share with you some ageist myths and misconceptions, and I'm wondering if you've heard of any of these, you've read of any of these, or know of them. And I certainly know myth number 2 there, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, is something that people believe, but we know it to be a misconception. And unfortunately, myth number 6, the elderly don't pull their own weight. That's certainly another myth and misconception that I'd like to go over and basically pull apart in this presentation and give you some more positive aspect. And with that, I mean the positive aging mindset. And I certainly want you to understand that aging can be all of these amazing things. It can be healthy and functional. It can be adventurous. It can be productive, and it can be creative, right? I want it to be a positive experience for as many people as possible. So I've got to ask you this question here. If you had the choice between quantity or quality, what would you choose? And oftentimes, people believe that it's either one or the other, right? Well, we're here to tell you that you certainly can have both. We want to have quantity. We want to add age to your years, but we also want to add, some quality to those years too. We want you to enjoy those later years in life. And we're going to share with you some tips and tricks on how you might do that, starting as early as today, right after this presentation here. So what is functional longevity? Well, essentially it's the maintenance of your ability to do what you need to do. These are basically things like, day-to-day tasks like dressing yourself, right? Things that you want to do, and maybe that's going on trips and, things that you like to do, and that could be like playing with the grandkids, right? And doing all of these as late in life as absolutely possible, not having to stop doing these things that you enjoy. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of an exercise here, and what I'd like you to do is, and you can close your eyes if you like, sometimes that helps, but I'd like you to think ahead 20 years from now. And I want you to imagine a life where you'll be able to move carefree and have all the energy in the world to enjoy your favorite activities. And this is all because you've stumbled upon the closest thing to the fountain of youth. And that's the information I'm going to share with you in the My Fit Body Forever program that we offer. So imagine that you're climbing the Spanish steps in Rome, and that's in the picture here. And there's 135 steps, and you're climbing these steps with your family. Now, imagine that you're almost at the top when your grandchildren say, "Race you to the top," and they take off in a burst of giggles. And you know what? You chase right after them in a burst of energy, and to their astonishment, not only catch them, but you pass them. But of course, as you near the top, you slow down and you let them win. Everybody laughs, there's high fives, and together you take in the marvelous view of the Piazza di Spagna at the top. You get to mark that one off the bucket list, but more importantly, you also get a special moment with your family that you can cherish forever. Sounds pretty great, doesn't it? And I mean, what could be better? But what if you weren't able to race to the top of the stairs with your grandchildren because your body wasn't fit and healthy enough? Because maybe your joints were aching, because maybe you just didn't have the energy, and maybe you were too worried that you would fall and either hurt yourself or embarrass yourself. What if you had to walk so slowly and take so many breaks that the grandkids were no longer having any fun because they're too bored waiting for you? And what if you couldn't even climb the steps and had to wait at the bottom while the rest of the family created that special memory without you? Let's face it, the aging process is not kind, and it wants to sap our bodies of stamina and vitality so we aren't able to enjoy those special moments in life. Plus, we end up spending so much time taking care of our health needs that we no longer even have the time to travel and visit family like we want to. You see, our bodies just can't handle it. And the Canadian population is aging. You see, in 2011, the median age in Canada was 39.9 years of age, meaning that half the population was older than that and half the population was younger. And in 1971, the median age was only 26.2 years. So you can see the difference in that short period of time. The age is growing, right? People are living longer. Now, seniors make up the fastest growing age group, and this trend is expected to continue for the next several decades. And this is due mainly to a below replacement fertility rate, which is the average number of children per woman, right, or per family. Also due to an increase in life expectancy and the aging of the baby boom generation. You see, in 2011, an estimated 5 million Canadians were 65 years of age or older, a number that is expected to double in the next 25 years to reach 10.4 million seniors in Canada by 2036. And by 2051, about 1 in 4 Canadians is expected to be 65 years of age or older. Now, functional ability, what that is essentially your ability to handle everyday functions like going up and down a set of stairs, picking up the TV remote off the floor. These are things that you may find easy now, but have no plans to keep it that way, right? So if you don't do something, then these things that you do are going to start to get harder and harder. And we know that. You see, without a strategic exercise plan, each year you get older, your functional ability decreases. And this makes everyday activities like gardening, playing with the grandchildren, even picking up a piece of paper off the floor much more difficult than it is now. And unfortunately, this domino effect has a drastic impact on your energy levels. It's essentially how your body works. If your functional ability is minimal, your body has to work harder in order to do simple tasks. And this explains why your energy decreases as you age as well, right? Now, what about the research? What is the research showing? Well, there's so many research studies, and so we've pulled up a couple ones that are quite recent, within the last 15, 16 years, and these talk about what happens with the aging process if we're not proactive in doing things about it. And we understand that we start to have impairments in our strength, our ranges of motion, aerobic capacity, body composition changes, right? We lose muscle mass and we start to gain body fat. Our functional abilities like walking and balance, they start to deteriorate, and even disability onset through decreased physical activity, being social, emotional disabilities, all these things start to change, right? We know that with physical resistance training that there actually is a large positive effect on muscular strength, and we know that we can show some maintenance of functional ability through the life cycle if we are involved in some sort of physical resistance type program. Right? Other studies show that we have a positive effect on fall prevention. Now, this is a huge thing because we know that with aging, balance tends to be affected, muscle strength and endurance tend to be affected, and when that fall happens, well, that can be quite scary because oftentimes that might relate in a break. Sometimes there's a break of the hip or the femur, and this creates a whole other complexity of challenges. So physical fitness and resistance training certainly help with things like fall prevention, right? Ensuring that we keep you up on your feet. We know that things like osteoarthritis are kept at bay or don't progress as fast when we involve some sort of physical fitness and resistance training, strength training in our day-to-day habits. We know that we can maintain strength, we can keep pain and function, keep pain at bay and keep function optimal, just by staying active on a daily basis. Now, what about this, the Nagii model? And this basically shows that, disability, the end here is something that occurs because of some sort of functional limitation, our inability to do certain things. And that is often before that comes this impairment. And where does impairment come from? Well, it can come from two different things. It can be a disease or a pathology, and these are things we have a little bit less control over. So maybe you end up with some sort of arthritic type change, which is part of your pathology or your genome. But then what about lifestyle and inactivity? These are things that you can control. So by staying active and eating the right foods, by staying social, we can limit the potential of impairment, which then limits the progression towards functional limitation and ultimately towards disability. Now, these are impairment factors that are vital for function. These are things that we have to maintain through the life cycle, regardless of age, and things that a good fitness program should offer to you. See, it's not just about strength. It's not just about endurance or flexibility. It's about all these things. Do we take into account mobility and agility, balance, gait, which is your ability to walk, and postural control, motor control, vestibular control? All of these things are built into a good program that takes into account what functional aging is, and basically keeping you moving through the life cycle, keeping you moving optimally, right? Because when you don't, we end up with something called sarcopenia. And I want to basically explain a little bit of that shortly here for you. So essentially, the loss of muscle mass with advancing age is what we call sarcopenia. Now, it's an important factor to address because it can have a dramatic impact on functional capacity. This is your ability to do your day-to-day tasks. So look at the pictures here on the screen. The one on the left here comes from a healthy, active person with a high level of functional capacity. This is the person who's worked to maintain their body through regular physical activity and exercise, and because of the strength and power that they have, they're easily capable of getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, hiking, playing tennis, yard work, and all these other necessary and enjoyable activities. Now, what about the leg in the middle here? This is someone which is, rather typical of what we find in society. They're not as active as they could have been or should have been, and maybe only engage in exercise sporadically at best. Because of this, they've lost an average amount of muscle mass and strength, and they can perform most activities of daily living without much difficulty. However, more vigorous and strenuous tasks are no longer possible, and they have therefore modified their lifestyle, right? So they don't have to engage in these more challenging tasks. Maybe they even moved to a one-level home so they don't need to climb stairs anymore. Or maybe they stopped playing tennis because they just couldn't keep up with their doubles partners, right? This person here has a little difficulty even getting off the toilet and may have installed a grab bar to give them that little extra boost. Whatever the case, they've lost a good deal of functional reserve, and these are high prospects for assisted living and are at risk of further decline into disabilities. So the intent is to stay active, moving, and functional, right? What about this leg on the right side here? See, this one here is someone who's lost a considerable amount of muscle mass, so much that they're no longer capable of performing all of their activities of daily living. Things like bathing, toileting, shopping, working, dressing, and all these other tasks have been, they become a chore basically, and they need help with some or even all of these. And these are people who are starting to look at a nursing home because they just need so much help, right? So the idea is to keep you moving, keep you strong through the life cycle. Now, what about medication? When we talk about health, we got to talk about medication. See, the truth behind most medications is that they're simply a quick fix, and they just don't get to the root of your potential problem. See, medication simply masks your lack of functionality as well as your aches and pains, and oftentimes you end up depending on it, unfortunately. In other words, if you stop taking the medication, you'll continue to lack functionality and will continue to struggle with everyday activities as you age. And as you can guess it, with all these medications to take every day, this becomes very, very time consuming, right? Spending time taking these medications, dealing with a multitude of side effects from the medications, means you don't have the time and energy to do what you really want to do in life. But you don't have to choose these medications of here, right? You essentially have other options, and the idea is to stay active, stay moving. Because if you just stop taking the medication, sometimes your quality of life takes an immediate hit too. So we've got to get you moving first before talking about what medications are absolutely essential here. Now, you're probably thinking that exercise is a great option to avoid this as well, to improve your health. And you know what? You're absolutely right. But there is a downside. You see, traditional exercise programs often fail to maximize functional ability in older adults. And why is that? See, the programs on the market today likely weren't meant for people like you. I mean, everything from infomercials to DVDs, they're all created to make you sweat, but have no impact on what you're actually trying to accomplish. So you could take a walk on a hot summer day and sweat, but are you improving the quality of your life, and will you impact your functional ability 10, 15, even 20 years from now? No, of course not, right? You're also not trying to improve your bench press either, which oftentimes these programs are designed for. And this is why other programs have failed you in the past. They're focused on simply making you grind out long, grueling sessions that leave you feeling defeated instead of invigorated. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you were on an exercise program and stuck with it? It's hard to stick to something that doesn't do anything for you. And the truth is that many programs do produce results, but for the wrong people. The programs didn't have you in mind. And also think about this. Why is it, the person on the cover of these programs, what kind of program is this designed for, and how does it represent the program? And oftentimes, again, this isn't you, right? It's always a man or a woman clearly in their 20s or 30s with six-pack abs, jumping around doing some sort of crazy exercise using expensive equipment and gadgets. And I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that you don't want that. And it's not why you were smart enough, to go invest in these programs here. You've gotten wiser with age, and perhaps you would have invested in something like that 20 years ago, but now things have changed. You're looking for something different, right? You're looking for something more in touch with your wants and needs at the moment. So let's talk about aging, because we have two different types. You see, primary aging is the gradual and presently inevitable, though science is starting to change some of this, the process of bodily deterioration that takes place throughout life, right? It's genetic, it's pre-programmed coding that our bodies just follow. And the accumulation of biochemical change that leads to slowed movements, fading vision, impaired hearing, reduced ability to adapt to stress, decreased resistance to infection, and so forth. These are all components of primary aging. Now, secondary aging, this is a process that results from disease and poor health practices. Someone who doesn't exercise or who smokes, who eats too much of the wrong types of fat and other forms of self-damage. And it's often preventable, whether through lifestyle choice or modern medicine, right? It's not inevitable and potentially reversible. And that's Jack LaLanne over on the right side there, someone who's taken the steps to change the secondary aging process. So I've got to ask you, how will you age? And there are certainly different types of aging processes here. Are you going to be someone who is dependent on others, don't take the action now, and ultimately has to rely on others to help take care of your daily activities? Or will you do a little bit, but certainly not enough to get through the next 15 to 20 years, ultimately becoming frail and still relying quite a bit on others? Will you exercise a little bit more? Will you be independent? Are you still optimizing what the years ahead could be? Or do you fit in some of these top two levels here where you take action, you find a good fitness program, and you stay ultimately fit so you've got those massive energy reserves to do the things you love to do? And you know what? There's even the elite athlete in the aging cycle here. And those are, the odd few who are really out there at the top of their game. And I have to say, Jack LaLanne was likely one of these individuals. So let's talk about maintaining function in aging. See, part of how you age has to do with genetics, certainly. And it also has to do with what you do on a daily basis, the choices you make that contribute to longevity. Are you getting up each day and moving? Are you getting involved in a fitness program that challenges you, that has resistance training as part of the program, that challenges your balance, challenges your coordination, that maintains and develops muscle mass and keeps you going? And it all starts with the mindset. See, aging is inevitable, but how we age is something that we can take control of. And in this picture here are just some of the great members of our fitness program at the My Fit Body Forever program that we offer at Fit Body Bootcamp in Lindsay, Ontario. So let's talk about what types of exercise, because we know that exercise is important, but what is best here? And we can see that in most cases we've got walking and resistance training, and oftentimes a lot of people that they believe that walking is sufficient, right? But I want to tell you that walking is limiting in a couple of ways. You see, many old people, they think that exercising by walking is enough, but that's dangerous thinking. See, I encourage you to keep walking. Don't stop that habit of movement and activity, but don't think that it's sufficient to maintain your strength, as it certainly is not strength training. Walking doesn't train strength. It doesn't really train balance or power, and in most cases, coordination and agility, and the benefits to our brain are absolutely minimal. You see, our brain can allow us to walk virtually on autopilot, so there's little brain stimulation. And walking certainly has its positives, but it's just not sufficient to maximizing the years ahead for you. See, this is regular walking I'm talking about, not hiking or snowshoeing or other more rigorous activities. So walking isn't bad, it just isn't enough. And sometimes people think, well, I got my 30 minutes of exercise in today, so I am good to go. Well, it could be better. And that's why I want to talk about strength training. You see, strength training is important as long as it's done to keep you safe, certainly, and uses elements of traditional weightlifting. And this is going to help you improve your strength and your muscle mass, which is going to keep you functional through the life cycle. And we also have to understand that some of the strength gain may not translate directional to functional ability, but it all depends on the program that you're involved with. And again, here are some members taking part in our My Fit Body Forever program, right? So what should you be doing as far as resistance training goes? You want to be doing a program that's going to help you maintain and increase your muscular power. Certainly maintain and increase your motor control, because that's going to allow you to keep on your feet, keep agile, have your balance and ability and stability, right? Something that increases stability and balance, and certainly getting involved in a proper functional exercise program. And it's challenging because oftentimes I see these programs that are designed, but they have their members sitting in chairs, lifting little weights, something that's not realistically transferred into everyday activities in life. You got to train your ability to get up and down stairs, to bend and twist and pull, and you've got to find a program that involves all of that for maximum benefit. So what is functional exercise, right? It's essentially something that should address your muscle strength and speed and power, so a program that encompasses these things. It should touch on motor control and coordination, proprioception, which is your body's ability to understand and control where it is in space, something that addresses balance, agility, mobility, gait patterns, which is how you walk, your cardiovascular endurance, your flexibility, and even sensory input through visual, somatosensory, and vestibular control. So we're looking for a program that has all of that to benefit you the absolute most. And we do that because of the principle of specificity. See, how you train is how you gain, and to improve functional ability, you need to train that way. So if you're using a fitness program that has you sitting on machines all day or sitting in a chair lifting a weight, I'd have to say that's not specific to life, because we tend to get up and we move around through life. So you want to find a program that challenges you to do the basics of movement. And I look at something called the primal pattern of movement in our fitness programs, and that's the ability to squat, lunge, bend, push, pull, rotate or anti-rotate, and the gait pattern, because this is life. We want to train you so when you leave our fitness studio, you can apply the strength, you can carry that over into day-to-day habits and abilities. Right? And that's the idea. We also address very much so in our fitness programs the concept of fall prevention. Now, this is hugely important for anyone in their 40s and 50s and even beyond, because we know that we're preparing ourselves for the later years. And the better we are at controlling the body, well, the better we are going to be at preventing those falls later on in life. And it's not just for people over 65. It's the whole aging spectrum. You see, when we fall, we develop a fear of falling again. And that fear causes us to have less or a decreased amount of activity. And when we have decreased activity, that results in a decreased muscle strength and balance. It affects our physiology. Because of that, we now have an increased risk of falling, which then may lead to continued falling. So very, very challenging, and why we take fall prevention very seriously in the My Fit Body Forever program, and why you should in your functional aging program, right? So how do you get started? What can you apply today to start to improve your health for the days, weeks, months, and years ahead? The first thing I would advise is to get off the machines. They're not doing you any good, because our life doesn't take place in the two-directional movement of a machine. It's not simply push-pull. You need to get on your feet, and you need to be moving and functional in your training. You want to do as many exercise standing as absolutely possible, because that is life. Traditional ab exercises, doing sit-ups, are a thing of the past. We've got better ways to train the abs now, train the core, and keep your lower back safe, right? You want to focus on whole body movements, things that have multiple directional changes, and compound movements that are going to challenge you, because again, that's what life is. You should be looking at repetition ranges of 12 to 15 and using enough weight that will cause you to reach failure, muscular failure, that would become challenging in 12 to 15 repetitions. If the weight is too light, which again is something that I see in a lot of aging programs, it's not going to do what we need it to do to keep you strong for a life cycle, right? You want to commit to longevity, know that the years ahead are important and the actions you take today are going to make those years better. And you certainly want to find a professional to guide you, to keep you safe and save you time and potential frustration. Yeah, you can do it on your own, but are you being as safe as possible? Are you working out the way that you need to maximize the results that you're going to start to see tomorrow? And that's why we have fitness professionals and why we've certified our fitness staff at the Kawartha Lakes My Fit Body Forever Functional Aging Program, right? So 20 years from now, do you know for certain you'll have enough energy to spend quality time with your family and friends? Or maybe 15 years from now, or 10 years, or even 5 years from now, right? There are memories to be made with family reunions and vacations, as well as playing chasing games with your grandkids. I mean, there are people to help through volunteer efforts and charitable organizations that you're involved with, and there are loved ones to visit and take care of. Your spirit may be saying yes, but unfortunately, without a plan, your body just may not allow it, right? Your friends and family will be making memories, but all you'll be able to think about are your aches and pains that just seem to never go away no matter what you try. And you soon realize that your body is holding you back from enjoying life to the absolute fullest. You're mentally there with your friends and family in the moment, but physically, you just may want to be in bed sleeping because you're tired and don't have the energy and you're aching. And you know this isn't the best way to live, right? Now, what about the bucket list? Of course, you also have that infamous bucket list. Those amazing experiences that you've always dreamed about that are, now within your grasp, those later retired years. And I want you to ask yourself, how much of your bucket list have you accomplished? And how much more is there to do? How many things are you looking forward to? There's places you want to see and even more memories that you would like to go make. But if you have to deal with aches and pains and lacks of energy and you're not going to be able to pursue these things, and you don't want that. So what if there was a solution for people just like you who aren't looking for the latest fat loss craze or looking to become the greatest athlete on earth? What if there was a done-for-you solution that improved your functional ability and energy levels, and it was tailored to your abilities, right? Maybe you just want a simple step-by-step plan that you can incorporate into your life right now. Something that allows you to discover renewed energy and recapture your youthfulness so you can do the things that you're doing now, but even better. And maybe something that improves your confidence in your physical abilities so you can get much more out of life and say yes instead of saying no thanks. And what about something that dramatically increases your stamina and endurance so you can finally play a full round of golf or work in the yard for hours without your body being stiff and sore later on? Maybe it's something to reduce or even eliminate discomfort so you can actually get on the floor to play with your grandkids and then easily get back up again. Maybe it's something to have peace of mind that you'll be fit and healthy 10, 20, or even 30 years down the road. And maybe it's something that'll allow you to be confident that you'll have the physical ability to enjoy all the adventures and wonders that you have yet to accomplish in life. So I want to welcome you to the My Fit Body Forever Functional Aging Program at Kawartha Lakes Fit Body Boot Camp. And in the image here, you see two ladies, and these women are approximately the absolute same age, right? And one of them has taken the steps in their later years and continues to be active and moving and eats well and has a positive mindset, and one not so much. And I've got to ask you, which life are you designing based on the actions you're taking today? What will your tomorrow look like based on what you're doing right now? You see, our passion is for people like you, right? Helping people like you who want to feel and look better and get a blueprint in order to have a better quality of life well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. And we've got members of our program right now that are in the 60s and 70s that are taking action to make tomorrow even better. Our unique and innovative training facility at Kawartha Lakes Fit Body Boot Camp, our functional aging program, is dedicated to baby boomers with our Fit Body coaching team. And we intend to help thousands of people like you regain their youthful vitality and physical function. We've invested thousands of dollars and spent countless hours discovering what unlocks youthfulness and vitality at any age, what combats the aging process and maximizes your ability to continue doing what you love, what brings you a sense of purpose and a desire to do more, what helps you feel better when you wake up and when you fall asleep, right? And that's certainly the aim of the program. Through years of academic preparation, research, real-life application, and teaching, we've truly discovered what works for people just like you. We truly believe there's a fountain of youth in all of us, and we're all passionate about helping people to discover it. Finally, we have the opportunity to bring the My Fit Body Forever program directly to you. Welcome to your Instant Life upgrade. This is a system specifically designed with you in mind because it's what we do. Forget about expensive personal training and unproven gadgets. Our powerful workouts can be done by virtually anyone and without the need for big, bulky machines. In fact, our most effective training only requires your body weight, some resistance tubing, and a set of dumbbells. And you won't be alone either. Our team of certified functional aging specialists will be there every rep of the way with workouts specifically designed to make you feel younger, give you vibrant energy, and finally help you do the things you've always wanted to do, but better. Even if it's just wanting to spend more quality time with your family and friends. The best part, these specifically designed workouts can be tailored right to your abilities and only last about 30 minutes. That's 2% of your entire day. That's part of our secret to the system, right? Studies have proven to us that shorter, focused workouts actually combat the aging process. Imagine telling your grandkids yes instead of I'm not feeling up to it. Imagine 20 years from now doing the things you love to do, only doing them even better, and because you took action on a proven system that reverses the aging process. And instead of investing thousands of dollars in personal training and continuing with handfuls of medication that will only mask your obstacles, why not use this proven step-by-step system that will last a lifetime so that you'll never grow old? After all, our Fit Body coaches have already invested thousands of dollars worth of time and education to figure out what works for people like you. Within your first month with us, you'll quickly have access to unlocking your inner fountain of youth. And over the next few months, you'll begin to live a vibrant, healthy life full of energy and passion. Our team is certified by the Functional Aging Institute in the United States. We had Dr. Dan Ritchie come up and he certified our team, and we continue to offer the most cutting-edge fitness programs to help our community of Kawartha Lakes age with the most function possible. So let's talk a little bit about what the Functional Aging Institute is so you know where the quality of this program is coming from, right? There are 4 cornerstones to the functional aging program. The first is an in-depth understanding of the aging process and its implications for exercise. Our team understands what aging means, right? Through a rigorous study, we understand and we use that to design the program that we're offering to you. We recognize the desires, goals, and aspirations that accompany the third age, and also, we've designed our programs to take that into account. We believe that people can be fit, healthy, vibrant, and functional at any age, and the approach to exercise is grounded in evidence and honed with experience. And we've been running this program over the last year now at Kawartha Lakes Fit Body Bootcamp, and the results are absolutely incredible. In addition to the 4 cornerstones of the Functional Aging Institute programming, there are 2 pillars, and this is how we design our fitness program. Number 1 is specificity. Again, specific adaptation to imposed demand. How you train is how you gain. We get you up, we have you on your feet. We're doing movements that are realistic to life, that you can transfer immediately and have more energy on the simple things, whether it's carrying groceries, going up and down stairs, gardening, playing golf, playing with the grandkids. You'll have the energy and the ability to do those based on the training that we've designed. And the concept of progressive overload, and what that is essentially the body adapting to overload at any age. And we're using weights that are going to cause your body to get stronger and maintain strength through the life cycle, right? There are 7 key principles to all FAI program. And this is, again, what we utilize in our programs. We know we have to assess and prioritize and train all components of function. So we're looking at fall prevention. We're looking at stability, mobility, strength, endurance, power, cardiovascular health. All of these are a part of our program design. We are making purposeful decisions for every aspect of training. Everything that we do has a reason to it, and our team can explain that to you, right? We know why we're doing the movements that we're doing to help you out. We're integrating movement patterns. We're training in all the planes because this is life, and this is what functional demand is. We include isolation type exercise movements as supplementary only and complementary rather than the primary component. So this would be, the common exercise program that would have you sit in a chair and lift a dumbbell. That would be an isolation exercise, not compound. We know life is compound. We know you need to be able to lunge and squat and bend and push and pull. And it's imperative that we train these movements. We perform exercise movements in a seated position only when necessary or when it serves a specific purpose. Again, we need to have you on your feet because life takes place in a standing position, moving around. We order the session according to the energy level. We have our complicated multi-component movements occurring earlier when you've got more energy, and then the less complicated isolation type later in the session. And again, we always maximize our client safety and success by taking a holistic approach to training. We take the whole body into account when we design this training and when we coach our members. So what is it that makes the My Fit Body Forever program different than any other fitness program out there for the aging population? Well, the first thing is our screening and health history are always reviewed by myself or my wife, Dr. Stacy. So having a health professional involved in the screening and health history unlocks the potential to care for our clients even more, because we're going beyond the general scope of just health and fitness, and we're looking a little bit more specialty. So patients that have issues with their back or health conditions, we can certainly advise on that to offer a more tailored program for you. The PAR-Q itself, the physical activity readiness questionnaire, is absolutely inadequate for the aging population, and this was why we have a comprehensive health history through an interview with all of our patients that come on board. We talk about your current health conditions, your current medications, your current problems or issues, current activity and exercise, and the past, and we want to know everything about you. We run an assessment to understand any diseases or conditions that you may have and any dysfunctions, so we can work with you absolutely optimally in the best program possible. We also do a functional assessment, develop your training plan, right? Everybody who comes on board with the My Fit Body Forever program goes through a functional assessment to assess their balance, gait, mobility, agility, their task performance, their aerobic capacity, and even their flexibility, because we want to know where you're starting so we can develop a program that will best suit you. Let's talk about some of that testing, right? We use what's called the Senior Fitness Test Battery. These include these 6 movements here: the chair stand, looking at lower body strength and endurance; the arm curl for upper body strength and endurance; the 8-foot up and go test for agility and mobility; the 2-minute step in place for cardiovascular health; the chair sit and reach for lower body flexibility; and the back scratch test for upper body flexibility. And based on how you do on all of these, it allows us to design a program to improve these functions, these measurements of daily function for you, right? We use the Berg Balance Scale. We also utilize the modified clinical test of sensory interaction in balance to make sure that you are a good candidate for this program here. Now, I want to tell you about our guarantee. We guarantee that you're going to discover your inner fountain of youth, that you're going to have more energy, that you'll become stronger and drastically improve your quality of life. And if you don't see a difference, and more importantly, feel a difference with our functional aging program, we'll gladly refund every penny of your investment. You read that right. If you're not thrilled with our system, then we don't want your money. See, give it a test for a full 30 days. And if it's not exactly what we said it would be, we'll give you all of your money back, period. It's time to get working on that bucket list, isn't it? So really, you're not here by chance. You've found this seminar, this informational sort of tutorial that I've done here with you, and this custom coach system is likely what you've been looking for to finally enjoy life again. So you didn't stumble into this presentation here by choice. If you truly want to get more out of life, then it's time to invest in yourself and take action immediately with this proven program. Remember, if you're not 100% satisfied within the first 30 days, and if you don't discover your inner fountain of youth, then we're gladly going to refund your entire investment. That's how much confidence we have in our philosophy and program to help thousands of people change their lives. So there's no risk to you. So what we want to offer to you now is the opportunity to register for your first month as a trial with our program. And right now we're offering this program on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, with the opportunity for more days offered as demand increases. And the 2 times that we currently have is the 10:35 a.m. slot and the 6:20 p.m. slot, and these are around our regular boot camp sessions here. We offer a 30-minute program, and the session size is a maximum of 8 members. And this allows us to provide so much one-on-one time with each of the clients in this program. It's not like our regular boot camp, which has 30 to 40 members at times. This is 8 max, right? So a lot of one-on-one attention from our trainers here. We already have several members in the program and only have a few spots open. So if you think this is for you, you're going to want to take action as soon as possible. And you're going to fill out the information on the next page, and then what happens is we schedule you for your assessment and make sure that we're a right fit for you and you're a right fit for us. The location of the program is at Kawartha Lakes Fit Body Bootcamp, which is downtown Lindsay at 32 Kent Street West. And what you're going to get in this first month trial with our program is a complete health review to understand your needs. So we'll find out what your goals are. We'll do a full functional assessment to help develop a program for you so you can see results. You'll get access to 3 small group coached personal training sessions per week for 4 weeks. You'll get a nutrition review and coaching. We always talk nutrition because we know that's such an important element of health. And of course, a reminder, there is no risk. You have a complete satisfaction guarantee or your money back in that 30-day period. So if this sounds like it's something for you, what you can do is register for your first month trial at just $97, right? You'll click the button below to register, or if you receive this video by another means, maybe by email or a friend shared it with you, you can go to register.myfitbodyforever.com and you'll find the sign up page to be able to register. We'll get you in within the next couple of days and we'll get you set up for that orientation. Again, remember that the spaces are limited, and as soon as we fill our 8 spots in each time frame, we are going to close down that registration. If you decide that the program is for you, you make it through the first 4 weeks and you're seeing incredible results and you want to continue, great. Our offer at that point then is we have a 6-month program to continue on with, and if you wanted to continue at 3 sessions per week, it would just be $175, which is just over $10 per session. Or if you wanted to only train 2 times a week, it would be just $125. Again, just over $10 per session for an incredible program for you. So I want to thank you once again for joining me on this presentation here, the My Fit Body Forever Functional Aging webinar and program at Kawartha Lakes Fit Body Bootcamp. I hope I've given you some value over our time together, and I hope there are things that you can certainly start to apply immediately to make sure that tomorrow is even more beneficial and more positive and more functional for you. And if there's ever anything that I can help you with, you're always welcome to reach out to me. My direct email is Sean, SEAN, at kawarthafitness.com. That's KAWARTHA fitness.com. And one final time, this is the 1-month trial offer here for $97, the My Fit Body Forever program. And to register, you can go to www.register.myfitbodyforever.com. And once again, I'll thank you for joining us on this presentation, and have a great day. Take care now.